14 of y'all. How's it going? How's the internet this fine evening? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Invoke in Pieces. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve. As always.
What you got? What's in the glass tonight, Steve? Looks like wine, but you know, emojis are limited, as we all know. Could be something else. Thank y'all for coming.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zach for that awesome artwork.
Right. Thank you.
Hey, Mendy. How's it going? Thank you all for coming. We got a bunch of cool stuff for you tonight. In some old music, some new music, some score to tour from Carl, I think.
That's right.
And yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Oh, a nice Merlot.
Ah.
Nice. Awesome, Steve.
Hey, Nick, we're getting hey, feed, you guys can see us, right? Thumbs up on that end. It looks like we're okay on the restream.
Something weird happening on a...
Yeah, we're getting a black on Haley's phone. We're getting a black screen for the Twitch feed for some reason. Anyone on Twitch here?
Let me look here.
Interesting.
Let me check in here.
The YouTube looks good though. It's weird because our restream looks fine.
Twitch looks good over here. Well, it's still
okay. Actually. Maybe it's just your device.
But yeah, it looks fine here. I haven't turned the sound on, but I won't because then everybody would hear it many times. Oof. And we don't need that.
Nope. That reminds me of a great anecdote where before the times of COVID, we were, for other reasons, forced to use a video chat software because a guest of honor at the 8th Blackbird Creative Lab could not be there in person.
Oh, yeah.
And that guest was none other than Steve Reich.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
And so after some technical difficulties, we there was a workaround that was decided upon by the people who were working the tech. But for a split second, the microphones overlapped between the devices, and we created a phase with Steve Reich on the video chat, which was hilarious to everyone because Steve Reich is known for doing like stuff like that in his music. So we shall not create that again. But
I forgot about that.
Yeah, this reminded me of it. That was a highlight of those 2 weeks, honestly.
Alrighty. Well, should we kick off the music? Should we get the jamming going over here?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready to go.
All right. So, Carl, you're up first, right?
Yes.
All right. Take it away, good sir.
All right. Oh, that was the gong. That was my first piece for Solo Gong by my dogs. Okay. How's everyone doing? So the first thing I'm going to play tonight before I welcome my guest for the evening, who also happens to also live here with me. But first piece tonight is called 3Gs. It's by a guy named Kenji Bunch. I played a cover of one of his other tunes a few shows ago. This one I'm actually going to do on the viola as it was intended. And it is scordatura, meaning that I retune the strings in a funny way. So the low one here is now lower than it ever has been before. It's the same as that string. These are both G. And then the highest string is tuned down to a G. So that's why the 3Gs. There's G, G, D, and then a G on top. It's super fun. I'm just going to go into it. Okay. Sweet. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, super fun. And it's actually it's not it's challenging in weird ways, but it's not the most difficult thing. When I first heard it a while ago, I remember thinking that it sounded just super hard. But then when I got the music, I also thought it was super hard. It's pretty involved, but once you get into it, it's not so bad. So it's actually pretty fun. I'm gonna catch my breath here, and while I do that, I'm gonna invite the lovely Miss Haley Dietz to the virtual stage to join me in this next tune. This next tune is well, actually, before we get into that, I'm gonna do my beer for the evening. We're gonna pull some beers out here. I'm gonna grab them out of my fridge. Sorry about that. Here we go. Tonight's brewery is Blue Owl Brewing. They're here in Austin. They're also in California. This one right here is a seasonal called Lime Tastico, and it's a sour Mexican lager. It's got like lime and salt flavors. Haley and I tried these the other night. They're super awesome. The other one is called Dapper Devil, and it's a sour raspberry Belgian. And this one's for Haley, and this one's for me because this is the most sour one. So we're gonna pour a little bit of this. And Blue Owl is known for their sour beers, and they also have, once I get this full, I'll show you, these awesome glasses. I don't know if you guys can see this, but they have this super neat logo. Oh, it's on here too. It's Blue Owl. Reminds me of Rice University, but totally unrelated.
Trying to do this one-handed.
I know, right? Well, cheers. All right. Yeah, that's really sour. That's awesome, though. So the next thing we're going to do, if you guys saw Zach's artwork, it's pretty aptly named The Predatory Wasp of the Palisades is Out to Get Us. And it's by an artist named Sufjan Stevens, who has been a huge inspiration of mine since I was a kid. He's a composer, writer, singer-songwriter, performer. He's done all kinds of really cool stuff. And this is off of his album. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys can see our dogs right now, but yeah, there we go. Okay. This is from his album called Illinois. It was an ambitious project he had where he wanted to write an album for each one of the 50 states. He never made it through. He only made it to Illinois and Michigan, but he's put out so much other great stuff that I don't think anyone can really begrudge him. This song is about an experience he had at summer camp where him and his friends met a real-life killer hornet. So if you guys are following the news, this was kind of apt, and I didn't really intend for it to be so relevant, but there you go, it is. This is The Predatory Wasp of the Palisades is Out to Get Us. Thinking outrageously, I write in cursive, I hide in the bed with the lights on the floor. Wearing 3 layers of coats and leg warmers, I see my own breath on the face of the door. Oh, I am not quite sleeping. Oh, I am fast in bed. There on the wall of my bedroom creeping, I see a wasp with her wings outstretched. North of Savannah we swim in the Palisades. I come up wearing my brother's red hat. There on his shoulder my best friend is bit. 7 times he goes washing his face in his hands. Oh, how I meant to tease him. Oh, how I meant no harm. Touching the back of his hand, I kiss him. I see a wasp on the length of my arm. Palisades, I can wait, we were in love, Palisades, Palisades, I can wait, I can wait. We were in love, we were in love. Palisades, Palisades, I can wait, I can wait. We were in love, we were in love. Palisades, Palisades, I can wait, I can wait. We were in love, we were in love. Palisades, Palisades, I can wait, I can wait. And I can't explain the state that I'm in, the state of my heart. He was my best friend. Into the bed, from the back seats. Oh, admiration, falling asleep. All of my powers, day after day. I can tell you, we swaggered and swayed. Deep in the tower, the prairies below. I can tell you, the telling gets old. Terrible stain, terrible storm. I can tell you, the day we were born. My friend is gone, he ran away. I can tell you, I love him each day. Terrible guard, wrestled in rage. I can tell you, I love him each day. Terrible sting, terrible storm. I can tell you. Awesome. Well, thank you, Haley. Cheers. And cheers to y'all. Cheers to you, Steve. And anyone else with a drink in their hands?
Good job, team.
Wow, that's so tart. I love that one.
Pucker face.
That was awesome.
That was.
Hey, Chris.
good.
Hey, we wanted to give a big shout out to you on our end to Chris and Kimiko of the Talia Quartet. They just had their recital streamed earlier at 5 p.m. Central today, and it was fantastic. And I'm pretty sure you guys can still watch it. I don't want to. It might be on YouTube still, but Chris or Kimiko might be able to confirm in the chat. But they did a fantastic rendition of a Joni Mitchell song and a whole bunch of other stuff that was super awesome. So, that was really inspiring to hear right before we had to play. And I was a little intimidated because Kimiko has an amazing voice. So that was...
Yeah, geez.
Oh, hi, Kara. My old English teacher.
/ Zach's sister.
Yeah. That's so funny.
That's awesome.
I'll plug out my sister just has
Thanks, y'all.
a new book coming out, by the way.
Oh, and I wanted to give a big shout out to thanks, Kara. A big shout out to Kelly Dietz, who donated at the beginning of the stream before she even heard a note. So that's a lot of faith in us, and we really appreciate it. And thank you to anyone that chooses to donate. It means so much, especially in these times. There's a link on the website. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, and we're going to show the dogs one more time. There they
Oh,
are.
yes, please.
Pops.
Cora, and that's Max. Thanks, Kelly. And we're hoping we can bring these pups to see you soon. Kelly's
They're
here.
just like napping real hard.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to pass it off to... Who's next?
Nick.
Oh, it's me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Whatever shall I do? I know what I'll do. I'll do Schulhoff Solo Sonata. So, sorry, I gotta click the buttons first, as usual. I'm gonna unmute myself, otherwise it's gonna say that I'm muted the whole time. Alrighty then. Chris says still on YouTube, so check out Talia Quartet stream for their duo recital. And okay, so I'm gonna play Erwin Schulhoff Solo Sonata. We discovered Schulhoff actually through his 5 Dances for String Quartet, which is a super cool piece. It's 5 kind of short dances. He's a Czech composer originally, and but he unfortunately died during the Second World War. He was a prisoner of the Nazis, but before that he actually wrote a bunch of amazing music, and this piece is one of them. And he also wrote a amazing set of 5 dances for string quartet, which is pretty often performed by string quartets. So, but I'm going to play his solo sonata, which is actually somewhat similar. It's a 4-movement piece, and all of them are kind of dance-esque, you might say. It's a little bit reminiscent of like Bartok Romanian folk dances or something like that. So I am going to do this. I got to pull up the score over here without breaking anything, which you wish me luck. Okay, I did it. Schulhoff Solo Sonata 1927, and it's in 4 movements. Close enough. Movement 1 of 4. I'm going to take a break because a couple of people answered or asked some questions. Oh, left-handed violinist, is it mirror image? Oh, it is. That's awesome. Oh yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, Erwin Schulhoff, Czech composer. Okay, second movement, a slow tune. Thank you. Movement 2 of 4. The next one is a bit of a scherzo, waltz-esque, you might say. A little bit of a goofy waltz. The mirror image thing is weird to watch. I would change it, but I can't. Well, I could, but it would take me far too long, and I'd probably break something. So, or I'll just play this way. How's that sound? Does that sound good? There we go. Fixed it. Okay. Yeah, Brad, exactly. I'll just play left-handed. I just tried. Sounds great. Okay. Third movement. Scherzo. Cool. 3 at 4. There's a delay. Oh, I see. Reminds me of Hindemith. Yeah, it does sound a little like Hindemith. So that was a little bit of a goofy waltz. Some left-handed pits. For those of you who haven't seen that before, it's when, or right-handed pits if you're looking at me mirror image, which apparently everybody is. You just pluck the string with your non, so you can get cool effects going like that. Spellbinding. Hey, thanks. There's one more movement left. This one I think is the most Bartokian, if you will. Definitely very fiddly, folk dancey. Finale, Allegro Risoluto. The end. Whew. Shake it out. That one's kind of hard. A lot of notes. Most of them are open strings, which makes it sound cool. But some of them are not.
Sounded great.
Oh, thanks, man. Okay, let's gotta press some buttons.
I was following along in the score.
You were following along in the score?
Because there's IMSLP.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what we call hard.
That's what we call Schulhoff.
In the biz.
It's very similar to the 5 pieces, though. There's
It
so
is.
many similarities.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're all of them are like very folky, dance-like. Yeah, and that thing, how does it go in the 5 pieces?
Whatever the notes are.
Yeah. So yeah, it's similar. He's definitely got a style to him. He wrote some cool solo piano pieces too, I think. So yeah, a cool piece.
It's good to see some. Luis is here. Your mom's
hey,
here.
Luis. And my mom's
She
here.
gave you a,
Hey,
she
Mom.
gave you Standing O. My mom's
Thanks,
probably
Mom.
listening. She works on Friday nights, though, to her dismay.
Dismay.
Well, she always says, "Can you move it to another night?" So, but now we kind of set a routine. So, but she always, she puts it on and listens to it while she works. So,
Well, that's
she's
good.
here in
Well,
spirit.
shout out to her.
And who else? Oh, Leslie dropped in. Hey, Leslie. Frost.
Oh hey.
What's
Who else is
up?
here? Yes, music is made out of notes. So the more notes there are, the more musical it is. That's a little not very well known fact, but if you play more notes, you are more musical.
I
I'll
appreciate the
say
directness
Happy
of that
Mother's Day.
logic.
We're all playing a lot of notes, so we must be very musical today.
Must
Yes.
be very musical.
Exactly.
So many notes.
Exactly.
Is Mother's Day today? I thought it was.
No, it's Sunday.
Okay, good. Well, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers now, since we're on
Yeah.
on air.
This is our closest stream.
The closest one. This'll be our closest stream. So happy Mother's Day, Mom. And and huge thanks to everybody who's donated so far. We really appreciate that. And subscribe to. We got a couple new YouTube subscribers, so that's a huge help too. Subscribing on YouTube, subscribing on Twitch. We have a donate thing on our Twitch page as well as in the little thing that you see scrolling across the screen. So we really appreciate those. And I think who's up next? Is it
Moi.
Jeff.
Is it the young Jeff? All right. As opposed to Mozart's too many notes. Yeah.
Yeah, Mozart wrote a lot.
He did write many notes, but there's no such thing as too many notes, in my opinion. Well, never mind. That's not true. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Jeff, you go ahead. Save me, Jeff.
Too many zoos, though. That's a thing. Too many notes. Maybe not. All right, I'm going to kick my part off with one of my favorite movements of solo Bach. This is the Allemande from the first suite in G major. And it's just really simple in a beautiful way. And I'll let it speak for itself. Ah, such good music. I agree, Leslie. Not sure what we would do without it. Well, we'd be making subpar solo cello music, that's for sure. Well, no, it's not for sure, but this is really just awesome stuff. And what I love specifically about this is that it's easy enough that I can, every time I ornament like the repeats, it's different, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do, and it's just an experiment every time. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. Thank you, everybody. Unique ornamentation. Yeah, thank you. It's fun to experiment around, right? So what I'm going to do next is a little bit more of a banger of a piece. That one was very smooth and very sweet. This one is a little bit more rock and roll, which if you've been to previous streams of ours, you know that I can get into I really appreciate that kind of energy sometimes. So this is something that, again, very grateful for IMSLP, because that's how I found this piece. But it was only written last year, which is awesome. And I get to play some new music that on this stream that I wouldn't have known about if not for IMSLP, which normally has a bunch of copyright laws. But this composer, Tiziano Beretti, put his own music on the site. Unfortunately, his website is like not up right now, so I couldn't really look into him very much to tell you more about the guy. But his music, at least this piece, is inventive but tonal and makes good use of the cello. And it's kind of episodic and rhapsodic in cool ways, despite some sometimes very difficult passages, and many notes stopped at the same time. Quadruple stops, for those of you nerds who know what I'm talking about. 4 notes at the same time, or bariolage back and forth between the strings. Yeah, let's get into it. Make sure my iPad's working here. All right, this is Capriccio by Tiziano Beretti. I was deciding whether or not to mention that it's dedicated to a gentleman named Luca Pacanella. Whew. Man, that's a bit of a workout. Jeez. Let me put some headphones back in.
Boss, good sir.
That's a cool
Well
piece,
done.
right? Like, there's some gems on IMSLP, man. It's just hard.
Yeah. That was
I'll go
good.
have some whiskey. Thank you.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rock and
You earned-
roll.
You earned that whisk.
Yeah. I'm saving my whiskey actually until next week because there's a glorious worldwide organization of whiskey lovers called the Whiskey Tribe. And today at noon began the quarterly challenge, which is a dry week, to prove that you aren't dependent
you can.
upon the sweet juice.
Should try a dry year.
Sweet
Nectar
juice.
of the corn. The wheat.
Corn and the barley
Rye.
and the wheat and the rye. What's IMSLP? Oh man, IMSLP stands for something Petrucci, but it's an
Internet
online.
music score library project.
Oh, that's great.
Sure.
Something like that. Well, it is
Yeah,
that.
that's correct.
It is
Here's a
online.
link for it.
An online treasure trove of sheet music, and it's free to the public. They restrict you if the piece is under copyright, but that still leaves a heck of a lot of sheet music out there that is not currently under that, from hundreds of years ago. And people like Tiziano here who decided to release his sheet music under a Creative Commons free use license or whatever. So I'm not sure of all the legality of that, but yeah, it's a wonderful, that's how Zach was able to pull up the Schulhof and read along with Nick. And it's a awesome resource.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool. It's great for sight reading parties too.
That
Back,
is
back in the day of people being in the same place with each other.
yeah.
So
If only.
we could pull up like music, scores from IMSLP of basically anything, written more than however many, like 75 or 100 years ago or whatever the copyright limit is. So, any Beethoven, Mozart, Haydn quartet you want to play, you can just pull it up and get the music and jam away.
Yeah. And there's even some manuscripts on there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a
People
good amount of
scan.
scanned manuscripts. That is a really cool resource that it has.
And some recordings, even though it's mainly for sheet music, there's some recordings of the music
yeah.
too.
Arrangements, like you can get, different.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Some people have arranged versions of, other public domain stuff for different instruments or for different instrumentations, and you can grab those too. It's cool.
Indeed. Yeah, wow, I need to decompress after that. Whew.
All right. Well, should I transfer over
Yeah, let's get Zach rocking and rolling here.
Cool. I'm gonna
For
do
our
a thing
final
really
act.
quick, and then Nick, you give me the thumbs up, but everyone's gonna have to mute or else it will start feedback. I think.
Yeah.
So let me try a thing real quick. All right.
Oh yeah, thanks for donating.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, that's super cool, Kara. I didn't know that.
Does this work? Yep. Cool. Take that off. I think that my sister was saying something. I'm gonna plug this early. Not only did she teach Haley in college for English, but she also is an author now. She just wrote or she didn't just write, but her book that she wrote like almost a decade ago now, I think, called Disenchanted, is being published this week. So you can go look up Disenchanted, Kara Pleasance. If you're into Jane Austen and magic, you probably love this book. So definitely go check it out. I'm going to be doing two things. I'm going to read another poem by Wendell Berry from his collection of the Mad Farmer poems. And then I'm going to do a piece by Kevin Putz. I think that's how you say his last name. And it's called Arches. And I found this piece a long time ago when the violinist Tim Fain came to Kalispell to play with Glacier Symphony. He played the Barber and concerto, and then afterwards he played the entire Arches as an encore, which is like 14 minutes long. So it was a pretty intense encore, but well worth it because it's amazing piece. And I thought it was just such a cool, has everything in it. Has long lyrical melodies, really intense burialage passages, double stops. Kind of reminds me of a lot of the stuff that actually everybody was playing today. Kind of had that Kenji Bunch, and Schulhoff, and I forget how to pronounce the last guy's name that Jeff did, but I won't try. Anyway, so I'm going to read just one of these poems first, and then get to Arches. And I chose this poem because not only do I just love Wendell Berry, I just thought with all the crazy stuff happening right now, Wendell Berry kind of cuts through it all. So this is called Manifesto, the Mad Farmer Liberation Front. Love the quick profit, the annual raise, vacation with pay. Want more of everything ready-made. Be afraid to know your neighbors and to die. And you will have a window in your head. Not even your future will be a mystery anymore. Your mind will be punched in a card and shut away in a little drawer. When they want you to buy something, they will call you. When they want you to die for profit, they will let you know. So friends, every day do something that won't compute. Love the Lord, love the world, work for nothing. Take all that you have and be poor. Love someone who does not deserve it. Denounce the government and embrace the flag. Hope to live in that free republic for which it stands. Give your approval to all you cannot understand. Praise ignorance, for what man has not encountered, he has not destroyed. Ask the questions that have no answers. Invest in the millennium. Plant sequoias. Say that your main crop is the forest that you did not plant, that you will not live to harvest. Say that the leaves are harvested when they have rotted into the mold. Call that profit. Prophecy such returns. Put your faith in the 2 inches of humus that will build under the trees every 1,000 years. Listen to carrion. Put your ear close and hear the faint shattering of the songs that are to come. Expect the end of the world. Laugh. Laughter is immeasurable. Be joyful, though you have considered all the facts. So long as women do not go cheap for power, please women more than men. Ask yourself, will this satisfy a woman satisfied to bear a child? Will this disturb the sleep of a woman near to giving birth? Go with your love to the fields. Lie easy in the shade, rest your head in her lap. Swear allegiance to what is nighest in your thoughts. As soon as the generals and the politicos can predict the motions of your mind, lose it. Leave it as a sign to mark the false trail, the way you didn't go. Be like the fox, who makes more tracks than necessary, some in the wrong direction. Practice resurrection. And that's the manifesto, the Mad Farmer Liberation Front. I just, all these people opening up states a little too early, getting me all upset. So just go read some poetry. It'll all be okay eventually. And now for some music. This is probably one of my favorite pieces of all time, Arches by Kevin Putz. And again, it's kind of a lengthy piece, like almost 15 minutes, really divided up into 5 distinct sections. And I think he wrote, Tim Fain described it as kind of a way to bridge Bach, which is solo violin, the masterworks, and then to the modern day. And so not only is the name Arches from way back then paying tribute to what was and what is now, but also there's a lot of arch work that's going to happen over here. So this is Arches.
Swag. That was good, my man.
Feels good to play.
Man.
Like that's been like a dream, is to actually learn how to play that. So quarantine 2020, make your dreams come true.
That's the first time you played that?
Yep.
Dang. Nicely done, sir.
But it's like the millionth time I've listened to it, and I find that if I listen
Yeah.
to pieces for like forever, you're just like, yeah, I know how that goes. Although the Tim Fain recording, sorry Tim if you're listening, but like he takes a lot of rhythmic liberties, which kind of seeped in. And I know if Chris is following I gave Chris Whitley from Talia String Quartet the score because he wanted to learn it too. So if he was following along, I hope he doesn't judge me too harshly for.
Yeah, it's a cool piece.
Oh. Yeah,
Rush.
Silent Night. Steve says he played Silent Night with the Austin Opera, which is an amazing.
Oh,
Didn't it
Kevin
win
Puts?
some award? Yeah, I just remember it was a pretty awesome production they did here in Austin.
Nice. Yeah, Kevin Puts, he still teaches at Peabody, right?
I think
Think
so,
so.
yeah.
Nice.
Y'all
Yeah,
remember
he's,
Carlos Bandera?
Oh, yeah.
Kevin was his teacher.
Yeah.
I almost hung out with Kevin Puts, but I didn't.
You were almost
He
famous.
was at Brevard one of the years I was there.
Uh,
He wrote a overture-ish piece that we premiered. Super cool.
That's rad. Oh,
yeah, right?
Oh.
Tiring.
Yeah.
all of us played like really intense, like serialage heavy,
Shreddy pieces.
shreddy pieces.
Yeah, they were definitely. There was some shredding tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe next week we'll have like a ambient music.
Chilled out Friday.
Yeah.
We'll see what I decide to make myself do in another week's time. It's been really fun, like the challenge of learning all this rep within and or arranging or writing within a week's span is like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it gives me so much appreciation for like YouTube content creators and live and like professional streamers. It's something else.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard. Like, imagine doing this every day.
Yeah, and like if your income was based on it entirely, it would just
Yeah.
be like that pressure. It's crazy. But hey, we're growing through it.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks everybody who's been watching so far. We're Invoke. My name's Zach. This is Invoke in Pieces, the weekly show what we were just talking about, where we play new pieces, arranged pieces, favorite pieces of ours every week until we're allowed to, play together again. But then we're probably going to keep it going because this has been a lot of fun to hang out with y'all every week. So we'll see what the future holds. But if you liked it, subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and if you're on Twitch, subscribe on Twitch, on YouTube, and if you feel like donating, please do. Everybody, thank you everybody tonight who's donated. It really means a lot.
Yes, thank you everyone.
So thank you very much.
And happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, so my mom, Cindy Mitzi, says yoga music. That would be fun to do a live yoga music stream.
Oh, that would be fun.
Maybe
we have
when
any
we're all in the
friends?
same room again and we can improv together. But
Yeah.
Do we have any friends who could like pre-record a or even do a live with us, like a yoga instruction video that doesn't need any words, and we can just live improv to it?
Yeah.
there's some ideas. We can talk about that.
I played a hot yoga class in Austin once.
Really?
With the damn, what was the name of that group?
The Flamenco
Flamenco Symphony.
Orchestra?
Yeah, Flamenco Symphony. It was me and a guitarist, and we played a hot yoga class, and it was really hot.
Were you like sweating all over the fingerboard?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was like normally for those shows we like dress kind of nice, but he was like, just wear like shorts and a t-shirt, because like you're gonna thank me later.
Did you bring like a backup violin so you know?
No, I only got the one that's worth playing, but it's a tank. It's been through a lot.
Man,
So they held together.
that
Even being sweated upon. Honestly, it probably wasn't much hotter in there than it was like playing an outdoor wedding in April in Austin or whatever.
Sure.
So,
You really get, here in Austin, you get the gambit, because you can be playing out in 40 degrees and then you can be playing out in 100 degrees, and it could be the same wedding season.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
man,
Rip wedding season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's gonna be a boom, and whenever all this lifts, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody's
we'll
gonna be
keep
trying
our-
to get hitched.
We'll keep our eyes to the stars, as it were, I guess.
Though our
So
souls
we
be in
get
the
through
mud.
all this.
Though our souls be in the mud, indeed.
Well, should we call it?
Let's call it.
Yeah.
On that note.
Thank y'all for coming, and we'll see y'all next week with more tunes from wherever we are.
Have a good
Cheers.
weekend.
And
Cheers, y'all.
good night.